Take a deep breath and settle into your comfy chair. Welcome to the Healers Collective, the podcast that will alchemize your health and ignite an expansion within your soul. I'm Caroline Nixon, and with my over 25 years of experience in all things holistic, as well as being a psychic, a healer, and a medical intuitive, I will guide you deeper into your energetics, your body, and your soul, supporting you along your path to be the best healer, psychic, energy worker that you can be, knowing and trusting that your body is fully supporting you. Together, we will be navigating all things energy, vibration, frequency, mindset, soul, body, spiritual practices, and more as we move through this thing called life. So grab a cup of something hot and let's get to it. Hello, and welcome to episode 17. I am super excited to talk about this topic today. I'm going to be sharing with you one of my many healing modalities. This is not something that I teach. This is a modality that is pretty much mine and mine alone. And I want to share with you just a little bit before I talk about this modality. And by the way, I'm going to be doing a whole series about different modalities that I use in my healing work, just to give you an idea of maybe what's possible for you. And to inspire you to really tune in and tap in and go within and find your own healing modality. Because, when I first started out over 25 years ago, I kind of was doing my own thing. I was doing massage and I was doing hypnosis and I was doing aromatherapy and I was really into it. And I got introduced to Reiki. And Reiki is, I'm going to say, it's the gateway energy modality. I still see people using Reiki. And when I first started, I really liked the idea of it. And I don't know if it was because I felt like I needed to have this modality, this sacred, this ancient modality that's been passed down and passed down. Well, let me tell you, the first woman that I received my Reiki 1 attunement for, it didn't work. I did not receive it. So it kind of started to clue me in a little bit. Not so much then, but way more so now as I'm looking back at how muddled the energy can be depending on who is the teacher. And it wasn't until I found another teacher who I felt was way more aligned for me. Not to diss the person that did it the first time. It just didn't take. I don't know what happened there. Wasn't meant to be, whatever. It's all good. The second woman that I worked with for a little while, and I got my next attunement from, I really did feel it then. And then I started to see one of the Reiki masters in my sessions. And he would come to me and I would talk with him. And I got a lot of information about energy healing through him. And then it didn't resonate any longer. And I stopped doing it. I didn't like the symbols. It just didn't resonate. I'm not saying that it's not great for some people. I'm not dissing it in any way. I just didn't resonate. And when you don't resonate with something, it's time to move on. When it stops working, when it's not working, it's time to move on, in my opinion. You can do whatever you want. But I will tell you this. Before I started on this road, and I think, I know it was a lesson for me. It was a lesson for me to trust my own power. Because here's the thing, for years, I just did my own thing. And I had my own ways, and I saw what I saw, and I did what I did, and I was doing great. And then somewhere along the line on social media, people were coming out with modalities, and it was all very sexy. And it was like I must have had this FOMO because I started signing up for all of these different modality certifications. And again, no shade on the women, it was all women that I was learning from, because I feel like those modalities were amazing for them. And even for a while, I was utilizing other people's modalities, and I was getting results until I wasn't. Because here is the thing. Someone else's modality will never be as powerful as the one that you have within you, unless you give it your power. Let that sink in for a minute, because you might very well be using somebody else's modality right now. And I'm not saying stop using someone else's modality. It's bad, it's wrong. No. I'm saying that the one that you have within you that maybe, possibly has not been birthed yet will be way more powerful for your clients, working with your clients, because it's yours, because it's completely aligned to you and all of the energetics that you embody in this lifetime. So it took me a lot, and there was a bit of pride and stubbornness before I let go of other people's modalities. And I remember the day, and honestly, it was only probably 4 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, where I recycled, I didn't throw it away, I recycled all of my manuals from all of my different modalities. And it was a little bit of a pride and a stubborn, because I had spent so much time and energy and money into learning these modalities, which again work great for the people who created them. I just felt like it wasn't working for me anymore. And it was a very freeing feeling for me to let it go. But then it led me on a path, which was exciting, and I haven't looked back. And the path became what is my own healing modality. What am I here to help people with in my own way? And sure, you might say to me, but I took someone else's modality and I made it my own. And again, I'm not putting shade on anybody else's modality, okay? But if it doesn't come from you fully, is it as powerful as it could be? And I'm going to say, no, it is not. You might not trust yourself. And that was me. I was putting my trust and my faith in somebody else, as if to say they knew better than I did about my own healing gifts. And it was a huge lesson for me. And maybe it's a lesson for you. I don't know. You can let me know. You can send me a message. So I'd like to share with you today one of the first healing modalities that's my very own. Again, I don't teach this. This is mine. It's not going to work for you. You could steal the name. Not that you would, because you have high integrity, I'm sure. But someone could steal the name and call it the same thing, and it would not work the same for them, because it's not, there's no attunement. There's no, activation. It's my own. It came from within. It's something that I came here to do with my clients. And I have a specific healing guide that helps me with this particular modality. And I have about 10 different things that I do. This is one of them, okay? Besides just scanning the body like I do. Spoiler alert, well, or maybe maybe not a spoiler alert, but do follow this podcast, because pretty soon I am going to actually be doing a demo of how I work, and you'll get to experience that, just to give you a taste, of how I work with clients. Because I've been told by other healers that I do it very differently and that I go very deep. And so I thank those healers. I am very grateful for that feedback, because sometimes when you're doing your own thing, and you're not getting that feedback from other healers who have had experiences with other healers, and they're telling you, oh my goodness, you're doing, you do this and this and this, and other healers don't do it. So I am like, thank you very much, because I am here to help you feel your best so that you can create your business helping clients, knowing and trusting that your body supports you. So let's get into micropoint frequency healing. I don't have a lot to share about this. It always boggles my mind. It blows my mind. It doesn't boggle, it blows it. How I can start with a healing modality, and then I'll be in a session, and my guide will step forward, and I'll know it's time to use this healing modality, and he shows me something different. And I always just am like, wow, there's no limit to this energy healing. I don't believe that we humans have learned everything. You hear that. Like, everything's already been done before. I don't believe that at all, because I'm seeing things that nobody else, at least nobody I know, is talking about or doing. And it's because it's my own. Excuse me. It is my own. So what is micropoint frequency healing? So it's pretty much like it sounds. It's micro. It is laser focused. It works with energy. It works with frequency. I often see it working with color. Micropoint frequency healing is a modality that I use when there is very specific, like cells, cysts, tumors. Think of things like cancer cells, very minute. This is very pinpoint energy healing. This isn't like, throwing all of my energy at somebody and bringing energy in. I do that sometimes in healing sessions. Micropoint frequency healing is for very specific physical body ailments, okay? Tumors, cysts, cells. I've used it on organs sometimes. I've also used it, and it's different for everybody. This is what is so beautiful about the energy work that I do, is it doesn't look the same. The color might be different, although oftentimes it's blue or white. Those are the two colors that I see, because color has frequency. Everything has frequency. Everything has a resonance. You know this, right? And so it just depends on the person. When I've used it on myself, because that's how I started using it. I was using it on myself, and then I've began, working with clients. Again, it doesn't always show up. Just because I want a micropoint frequency healing for somebody doesn't mean that that's what that client needs. So I always know it's time to use this modality when my healing guide steps forward, okay? Which I love. I love that. And so I have seen it work with connecting dots within the physical body that my human, although I know a lot, quote, know a lot about the body, about physiology, the physicality, where everything is, I don't know everything energetically all the time, right? I'm shown, I trust, and I'm shown, and I follow the energy. So I have seen micropoint frequency come in and connect chakras to organs. I've connected glands to different organs, and it's energetic. It's beyond the conscious mind, the knowing. It's not something that you would read in a book. And this is why I kind of harp on, not really, because I don't, in all truth, I don't really care what you do. Like, do what you want to do. I feel like a lot of the books that say, if you have this disease, if you have this symptom, this is what it means. Remember that these were written by people, okay? And people write and channel and do their work through their own filters, including myself. It is my desire and intention to be as clear of a filter as possible. So none of my opinions, beliefs, thoughts, prior knowledge comes into any of my work. But I am human and sometimes things slip in. But I'm very aware of when something is my opinion. And when people write these books, and again, I love the Louise Hay book, Heal Your Body. That was, I read that in the 80s, late 80s. I was reading that book and thought it was the bee's knees. I thought it was amazing. And I still think it has a lot of value. But I have seen too much within clients that, they assume, well, my shoulder pain must mean this. My low back pain must mean this because this book said so. And I disagree. I disagree because I've seen different. So is it a good place to start if you have no idea about the connections? Yeah, absolutely. I had probably 4 or 5 of those books, different authors, and I got rid of them all because I trust myself and my channeling and my guides. I trust and source and the universe. I trust that more than I do someone else's books. Are they bad? No. Are they wrong? No. Are they the full truth for every single person? No. Okay. So I trust when micropoint frequency healing comes in and it shows me where to do it. And it's literally, I see this in my mind's eye, and it's a tool, it almost looks like a scepter. It's very cool. And I'm literally holding it like a tool, like a laser, and doing the work energetically in my mind's eye. When I work, I see people up in front of me like a screen. Even when I work on myself, I bring it up in front of me like a screen so that I can see what I need to see and then begin doing the work. So that's just a little bit. That's a tip of the iceberg in some of the healing work that I do. Micropoint frequency healing doesn't come in for a cold. It doesn't come in for a headache. Or anything, what we would call sort of mild symptoms. This is a modality that is for the very sick. This is a modality that is for, the big guns. It's my big guns modality. And I'm still learning about it. I don't know everything there is to know about this and what it can do. I'm still learning. But I trust, because I've done my due diligence, and I trust my guides and the integrity that they hold and the integrity within myself, that I am shown what I need to see so that I can work in the highest good for my clients. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to be talking about other modalities very soon. Give you a little taste. I do an energetic modality called energetic flossing. I do energetic elixirs. I work with energetic detoxification. I work with the Optimal Health Blueprint machine. I work with that one daily. I work with something I call the Control Center. It's very similar to Optimal Health Blueprint. It's a little bit different. I do some source point healing. I have a weight release machine, energetic. I have a structural alignment machine. And I have been working recently on a spiritual gift enhancement technique. Stay tuned for that. I'm very excited about that. I don't use these things with people unless I use them on myself first. I am a guinea pig for myself. And I believe that that's the best way to test it out, to see what you like, to see what you can tweak. One other thing that I've been doing is I've been doing soul blueprint enhancements as well, which has been amazing. So that's it for today's episode. Join me on the next episode where I will be sharing probably another healing modality, just to kind of keep this series rolling along. As always, please be sure to follow so you don't miss any of my podcast episodes. Right now, they go out on Wednesday mornings on Spotify and on Apple. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.